The time is precisely 1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Chandima Veerakon. Headlines. Sri Lanka relaxes cash margin deposit requirements on non-essential and non-urgent imports. Central Bank Governor unveils 6-month roadmap for Sri Lanka's economy. The Foreign Ministry Secretary says that some groups are trying to lose the GSP Plus concession to the country. The Epidemiology Unit says that more than 17 million people of the population have been vaccinated with both doses of the vaccine. Former Minister Richard Badin further remanded. And on news services, Australia to reopen border from November. Local stories in detail. Governor Ajit Nimad Cabral says that the Central Bank of Sri Lanka will discontinue the cash margin deposits requirement on non-essential and non-urgent imports. He revealed this today while speaking during an event to unveil the CBSL's 6-month roadmap for ensuring macroeconomic and financial system stability. On September 9th, the Central Bank imposed a 100% cash margin deposit requirement against the importation of selected goods of non-essential and non-urgent nature made under letters of credit and documents against acceptance terms with licensed commercial banks and National Savings Bank. The governor said they understand that several people have been undergoing various difficulties as a result. That would be lifted from today. The Epidemiology Unit says that more than 17 million people of the population have been vaccinated with the 2 doses of the vaccine. Meanwhile, the vaccination program is being conducted for the children with special needs and disabled children between 12 and 19 years of age at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital today as well. The program will be conducted until evening. MP Richard Badin has been further remanded until October 14th. The Colombo Magistrates Court has given this order in connection with the death of a teenage domestic worker who was serving at his residence. He has been named as the 5th suspect of the case. The suspect's bail application has been rejected by the Colombo Additional Magistrate Rajendra Jayasuriya as the relevant investigation has not been completed. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with the local stories, Governor A.J.M. Muzamil says all primary schools in the Uva province with under 200 students are set to reopen from 18th October. All provincial education officers have been instructed to make the necessary arrangements to open schools on the set date, the governor said. All zonal directors of education have been instructed to prepare the necessary arrangements for the opening of schools on the 18th of this month. Meanwhile, all schools in the southern province with under 200 students are also set to reopen for academic activities in October. To conclude the local news, the headlines again. Sri Lanka relaxes cash margin deposit requirements on non-essential and non-urgent imports. Central Bank Governor unveils 6-month roadmap for Sri Lanka's economy. The Foreign Ministry Secretary says that some groups are trying to lose the GSP Plus concession to the country. The Epidemiology Unit says that more than 17 million people of the population have been vaccinated with both doses of the vaccine. Former Minister Richard Badin further remanded. That ends the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
On the main news story, Secretary to the Foreign Ministry, Admiral Dr. Jayanath Columbage said that some political parties or some elements are trying to lose GSP Plus concession to the country. He also stated that these elements are propagating false rumours internationally to tarnish the country's image. Participating at the meeting with the heads of media institutions, he said that several fields, including the apparel sector, was affected due to loss of GSP Plus concession to the country. He also said that future measures will be taken after having discussions with the representatives of the European Union who currently are visiting in the island.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Light.
Parents should pay more attention to their children who have chronic diseases in order to safeguard them from the COVID-19 virus. Although corona spreading is low, it is the responsibility to look after from side effects. There is no report regarding the complication from the Pfizer vaccine. Specialist doctors request parents to provide the COVID eradication vaccines to children without delay. That ends Watch Light.
World News.
Headlines of the World News. Australia to reopen border from November. Congress votes to keep US government open. North Korea says it fired new anti-aircraft missile. Australia will reopen its international border from November, allowing vaccinated travellers into the country for the first time in 18 months. Currently, only citizens and people with exemptions can enter. Outbound travel is also banned without an exception. The policy has been praised for helping to suppress COVID, but it has also controversially separated families. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said states with vaccination rates above 80% would get the travel freedom. President Joe Biden has signed into law a temporary measure to keep the government funded until early December and avoid yet another federal shutdown. Congress narrowly passed the bills hours before funding lapsed, which would have forced federal museums, national parks and safety programs to be closed. The funding bill also includes money for hurricane relief and resettling Afghan refugees. Mr. Biden signed the bill with just hours to go before the shutdown began. North Korea said it test-fired a new anti-aircraft missile on Thursday, its fourth weapons test in under a month. The latest test comes days after North Korea launched a new hypersonic missile, which is believed to have nuclear capabilities. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the test create greater prospects for instability and insecurity. Pyongyang says its weapons are needed for self-defense, accusing the US and South Korea of double standards. The latest tests are being seen as a clear sign that Pyongyang has no intentions on slowing down its weapons development despite strict sanctions. And to end the world news, the headlines again. Australia to reopen border from November. Congress votes to keep US government open. North Korea says it test-fired new anti-aircraft missile. That ends world news.
And now in development news.
And on development news, State Ministry of Provincial Council and Local Government has taken measures to develop access roads to agricultural cultivators at a cost of 225 million rupees to expedite the agricultural activities of the farming community in the identified rural villages. Measures have been taken to develop 227 roads under this program.
Sports news.
And on sports news, the first match of the South Asian football tournament will be held in Maldives today. The match will be played between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, 3:30 p.m. The tournament will be held with the participation of 5 countries. It is also expected a large number of spectators to watch the match as the football sport is popular in Maldives. Sri Lanka Athletic Association says that they will participate for several series of international matches for next year. The Commonwealth Sports Festival, Asian Sports Festival, Asian Junior Sports Festival and Asian Youth Championship Tournament are among for the World Championships. The Super Reserve and the National Reserve will be implemented targeting the tournament. Accordingly, 24 players are included for the National Sport Reserve, which is implemented under the concept of the Sports Minister Namal Rajapaksa.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
And on business news, headline inflation as measured by the year-on-year change in the Colombo Consumer Price Index decreased to 5.7% in September 2021 from 6.0% in August 2021. This was due to the statistical effect of the high base prevailed in September 2020. Subsequently, food inflation decreased to 10.0% in September 2021 from 11.5% in August 2021, while non-food inflation increased to 3.8% in September 2021 from 3.5% in August 2021.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, Unilever Sri Lanka, one of the largest fast-moving consumer goods companies in the country, reached another milestone in its journey towards achieving diversity and inclusion by recruiting its first-ever female workforce at Unilever's Horana manufacturing facility. That ends economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And finally, on the weather report, the Met Department says cloudy skies will prevail over most parts of the country. Showers and thundershowers will occur at most parts of the island. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places. That ends the weather report. And to conclude this bulletin of news, the headlines again. Sri Lanka relaxes cash margin deposit requirements on non-essential and non-urgent imports. Central Bank Governor unveils 6-month roadmap for Sri Lanka's economy. The Foreign Ministry Secretary says that some groups are trying to lose the GSP Plus concession to the country. The epidemiology unit says that more than 17 million people of the population have been vaccinated with both doses of the vaccine. Former Minister Richard Badin further remanded. And our news overseas, Australia to reopen border from November. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.